Alright guys, so we are going to start this recording off. I'm going to pick the bull I wish to play again. Let's see. Yeah, he will do. This guy's going to go. Okay, new game. We're going to skip that intro. Let this load up. And as you can see here, I have my keyboard capture on the screen so you can see my movements as I move in the game. So what I do always is I'm going to go ahead and kill this first bear. I'll also demonstrate how I avoid bears in these streets. That way I don't have to spend any time trying to kill them. They do spawn in the same space every single game. They're not random like keys. And as you see there, I just skipped the red key lever to grab the first purple key. And that's the same approach that I have every single time I play this game. And if something gets fixed, then I'll change my approach. But until that day, it's currently available. This is the build that was released on 6/14/2022. And we're going to go ahead and collect all the keys on this first level, which will then allow us to be quick on our third level. So we won't really necessarily capitalize. As you can see here, I was having a little hard time finding that yellow key. As it spins around, I was catching it at the wrong angle, and my eye was not tracking it. So we got two keys now. We're gonna continue to make our movements. And as you can see here, I'm holding down D and shift almost always, just to let off so my stamina bar can replenish itself. Now, if you're not holding shift generally the whole time, you are going to be moving quite slow. Now, as you can see here, I've hit the map button. I'm constantly looking at the map, looking at where I'm at in the road, and of course, key finder. So I'm going to be running into these roads, but you can avoid this area and not have these bears spawn. And as you can see here, if I'm walking slow, it's very hard to avoid the fireballs being thrown by the big bears. So we're gonna go ahead and jump shift. Shift while we're falling is gonna allow us to fall faster in a directional movement. So we kind of float instead of a short jump. Now here, I'm gonna go ahead and get on top of this rail, and I'm going to jump across. And this will be our second skip, which I think is, it's an easy skip to do, and we grab the second key. Now we got one more key to get, which then will eventually give us three keys. But here, I skip these bears. These bears will always spawn. As soon as I step on this platform, we have 4 bears. So if you go up the lift, those bears will always be there. There's really no way of skipping that. But if you jump behind, the bears have no idea you are on there yet. They have not spawned. So here I'm going to show the same thing. I could have just walked around, but no, I decided I'm going to walk into the path. So as you know where these paths and the spawns are, you're not going to be able to outwalk the speed of these bears. So you've got to be holding shift as you're making your move. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and kill these guys off. I'm always running backwards to get some space, and then while running backwards I can look at the bears and kill them off one by one. We're just going ahead and show you a little example of this. So this is just strafing back and forth without sprint, and then you can see with sprint, for some reason sprint at times won't engage, but for the most part it does exactly what it's supposed to do. So we're going to go up into this castle. You can grab this ETH crystal if you need it. We don't need it because we know where the purple key is. And if it's your first time, you can use key finder, and there'll be an indicator on the map where the purple keys are, just like the red, green, and yellow keys. So here we've got a little bit of like an invisible object that stops us at times on the stairs. Sometimes it seems to be more present than others, but you just stick to the outside, run and jump, and you'll be fine. You'll be able to skip that, no problem. Now we're gonna go ahead and just sprint our way past these big bears, creating distance, easier to avoid. Now, I generally will hug this wall. I would then jump over this console, tag it, pull the lever, and we are good to go. And now we're in level 2. All right, so I almost always go to the right side. And the goal with this, guys, we just need to collect all the keys. So we're gonna need to get all the purple keys, of course, and then we need to get all the red, green, and gold keys. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump in here. In this area, there is a gold key right there in front of me, but for some reason I didn't catch that with my eye. So it's there, and I can see it now in the video, but in the moment, I did not notice that yellow key by those bears because I was running by them. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna collect the keys in this area, and we will go ahead and skip spending the keys by going up the lift and actually making a little jump from a post to the top of the lift. We'll go ahead and grab this red key. We'll grab this ETH if we needed it. And now we make our way to this second purple key. Now this post, like I showed in my last speed run, you can jump and stand on. And then from there, jump, shift, and W, you move forward a lot faster. So you kind of get a little bit of maybe an extra meter or two distance forward. Now we got to pick up the other keys in these areas. Grab this health pack. This health pack is always there. It does not move. Which is a pretty good placement, honestly, because if you were to run through the streets, those bears can be fairly annoying. Now I'm looking around here and make sure that I didn't miss any behind me, and then there I go. Because of that post, I had some contrast, and I saw that I was missing this yellow key from the area that I got the first purple key. So I have to make my way back. So I grab this yellow key, and I'm on the run. We're going to continue to look for the rest of the keys. We got to get the last purple key, which is on the lift. Grab that key. Now a good note for the ETH is if you don't know where your keys are, but you're next to an ETH crystal, use all your ETH to get an idea of what direction you need to go, and then grab the ETH. So what it's going to happen is that ETH crystal is going to refill your ETH bar. It doesn't matter if you're only 10% down or you used 80%. So use all your ETH or almost all your ETH before grabbing a crystal. That way you're maximizing the ETH power and you're not wasting it. So we picked up another crystal, and there's our red key. And now we've got to grab this next purple key. I'm gonna go up the lift. This big guy happens to walk right off the side. Bye. And now we're making our move. Purple key. And as you can see, my keys are showing me I'm constantly on shift and W. Probably 90% of the time, right? Just enough time off of shift so that stamina gets replenished. Now I only need one red, one green, and 2 yellows. And I think that as we keep going, you'll kind of get an idea of how to kind of go around. I'm showing here that without shift, you barely make that jump. If you're holding shift and running, you're gonna get more of a distance. Now here, I always skip that area by jumping on these rocks and going around this fence. Now you can go around that tree, but there's a chance you're gonna spawn those bears, so I go around even more. And now I did not spawn those bears. Now, here's the inverse of that, right? If I go up the stairs, almost immediately, you'll see bears are gonna spawn. So it's by avoiding some of these areas, once you've played enough, you'll know where these bears spawn and where their spawn reach is. So if you looked at the map in the street, you can envision like a circle to kind of indicate the space that those bears are going to spawn if you go into that circle. Now I see that we've got a green key back here by using my key finder, and you can also stand on the other side of this wall and look through that crack. And there you go. So we got that. We're running through the green gas. We need 1 red key and 2 yellows. So those are my goal right now, in order to have enough gold, green, and red keys to obtain purple keys. Now I'm showing the community this because I have access to it right now, and I think everyone should have access. If it gets patched, and then it becomes a more streamlined approach of playing the game. Now, without doing these skips, I'm able to do about 35 minutes fast, and with the skips, anywhere between 19 and 25. So I'm showing you here, you can skip this area. Okay, if you run right through the street there, by a matter of an inch, these fast bears will spawn. So you can jump and weave in and out of that area, and they will not spawn at all. So now we're gonna make our way to pick up our next couple keys that we need. I'm gonna run through this gas. I see a red key over there in the far corner. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I could have grabbed that health pack. You can do it if you want, but honestly, if you're avoiding bears and you're managing your ETH, then you have enough ETH power to kill bears and stay alive. The extra health does help, and I just ran past an ETH crystal there to kind of give you guys a demonstration. We're gonna hop on this rock because we know that area is full of green gas, and that green gas is gonna take our health down. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hop on this red key, no problem. And now there's an ETH crystal back here. If we were tempted by it, we're gonna get hit with green gas. That green gas is always there. The ETH crystal is always there. You've got to weigh out the risk and reward of going for that ETH crystal. Now, when you don't have this kind of skip, that ETH crystal is very, very important, in my opinion. So you want to manage your ETH a little bit better. They have added some ETH crystals sprinkled into some of the maps, I've noticed. And so that's going to allow you to utilize the flamethrower and the like charge shot on the normal gun. There's always going to be an ETH crystal up here, and then in this little shack there's a health pack. Now you've got to kind of weigh your risk and reward. You got to hug this wall real tight, and you're gonna make some quick turns, and you can grab this health pack. Now if you're not close, what's gonna happen is you're going to get some packs of bears spawn, big and small, and now you hopefully have some stamina, because these guys will be after you and you'll be trying to dodge, and if you don't have any ETH, then you can't use maybe your more powerful shot or the flamethrower that gives you more kind of AoE damage on that. So we're gonna go up this bridge, grab our first purple key, and as you see, W and shift is a common theme for what I do. Okay, I'm not just holding W, and a lot of times I'm strafing with WA or WD. Even if I'm running from bears and I'm shooting them, now I'm holding S as a directional, and I'll have S and shift. We're going to go ahead and grab this next key because we need one more yellow to be able to get our second key. And it's been a lot of fun figuring out all these different areas to help kind of make a level playing field across the board for all the players of BearHunt. And I'm glad that these videos have brought you guys some value, so we're just going to keep making them. And so here, as you can see, I'm aiming for the head, and if you're really close to these guys, it's very hard to avoid those fireballs compared to being further away. So creating distance on the melee bears and the fire throwing bears is going to be key to faster runs and avoiding getting hit. So we'll post lever, we'll grab the second purple key, we'll get our third key, and then we'll move on to the next level. Now we're just going to go ahead and don't fall in the water. If you fall in the water, you will restart at the beginning. Now this whole kind of right side here is peppered with gas, and so there you go, you'll get hit with it, but it's the quickest route back depending on where you pick up your last purple key. I've got one more purple key. This was the fastest route. Taking a little bit of damage to decrease the space I have to run was worth it for me. But if you have low health, then maybe it's not, and you take a little bit of a longer route. Regardless, avoiding the bears though will decrease your time it takes to beat the game, whether you're doing any kind of skips or not. And so collecting anything more than what we need will not be able to be taken into level 4. So we'll grab that health pack. It's not necessary, but essentially my thought process on this is let my stamina go up before I make my final run in. I'm gonna run to that lever. I'm gonna pull it, and there you go. Pull it. It's going down. I jump on the bridge. Now these bears are restricted, and they cannot cross the bridge. So they're gonna stare at you like they want to kill you, and the big bears will throw fireballs. So we're gonna go ahead and run into this gate behind us, and that gate's gonna lift up, and then that's gonna open up the portal, and we'll go through the portal, and then we'll be right into level 4. All right, guys, we're in level 4 now. This is probably the craziest skip that you've seen me do to date, but what we're gonna need to do is we need to collect one of each key. We will do our Spider-Man walk to get our 2 purple keys. Now, like I said, this is from 6/14/22, so this is the current build, and I'm sure that this probably won't last long, as they'll probably patch it and come out with a new build. I'm not sure how quick that turnaround will be, but this will make your runs be probably consistently 18 to 22 minutes if you're doing it right. The first time you do it, you might do like 28, which is probably faster than you normally do it if you've not been kind of implementing some of these little tricks and thoughts. Some materials in the game, whether it's a wall, whether it's a ledge, are walkable, and so because of that, they sometimes will cast off this invisible platform next to it. You may not notice it as you're running past, but sometimes you may not actually be on a board, and you may be on a invisible board. So I stand on this ladder to hop onto this little wood piece, and now I'm on the wall. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna walk. We're gonna hug the wall, being real close, and then we can jump from here to this ledge and hop right over. Now they've done a pretty good job. They fixed and patched the other exploit. Here, you get real close to that, and you're able to jump on top and walk over the top of that. Grab this key, and we hop over here. Now, if we hop from the very top, we will take some damage. We're gonna go ahead and grab this health pack and run on the rocks. If you do not run on the rocks and you walk on the road, there are bears there waiting to spawn. So I've saved me a couple seconds of time from killing bears in that spot to be able to finish the game faster. Now, peppered through the grass are some spike traps, so you gotta be careful with that because they will pop up and get you. And depending on how much health you have, it could be a problem. And if you need ETH, you have ETH, and we haven't already grabbed the health pack, but if you need the health pack, you can get it there. Now, I'm gonna pull this lever. These bears are waiting because they had no way to get in, and they're waiting for me to come out. Now, the craziest part of this skip is we have 2 purple keys, 1 red key, 1 green key, and 1 yellow key. The rest of this really doesn't matter too much to me. We need 1 purple key from the next map, which is going to allow us to skip. And as you can see, these bears will run. I'm not using anything special, no special guns. I have plenty of ETH. I have a flamethrower, and you can see that we have keys here. Now, I don't need those keys. I just hit key finder to look at. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna come up to the back of this building. Now you see it's not flat. It's not perfectly flat. It's tilted. We're gonna use that. We're gonna jump onto this little ledge, and above us, like I said, some of these platforms are actually like an invisible area. So we're gonna jump through that, get on top of this awning. We're gonna get on top of this wall, then we get on top of this roof. Now, this roof can take you a lot of places, but the chain is where we are going to go today. Okay, we're gonna hop on this chain to get on top of this rock. Now some of these objects that look like there's like physical objects you can stand on are not. You'll fall right through. But that one is one. So now what we need to do is right between this rock and this house is where we want to go to the right. I'm gonna overshoot it, and as you can see, I'm gonna hop into that void. Now if you didn't hop into that void and you went down, that is technically the base plot of this map, and there's no way to get back up. So you do not want to fall down there. We're gonna go ahead and run. Now if we ran and dropped down, we would be stuck there. You grab the purple key, you can't get out because you never opened the gate. So we're gonna avoid that purple key. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna hop between these two posts. We have a pretty good health bar. We're gonna take a pretty good chunk of damage, but we're okay. Now we're going to run, and we're gonna collect the purple key that does not require us to solve a puzzle or open a door. And we're gonna get the one that we have to tightrope walk in this building here ahead of us. Now we're gonna run through the street, and as you see, those bears spawn. So the thought process for me is how to avoid bears, how to collect keys the fastest, and how to decrease the obstacles I have to encounter. Now we had a key behind us. It doesn't matter, we have a red key to the right of us. We only need one purple key to open the next door, because we have two already. And then the next door will open up with a red, green, and yellow key, which we already have. So we're gonna go ahead and grab this, and now we'll start making our way back down. Take a little bit of damage. I'm gonna hop over here. This wall has a little bit of a ledge, and there you go. We're gonna go ahead and turn in this purple key, and we'll be on to level 6. And as you see here, I'm gonna hop over here to avoid some bears, and then I'm gonna hug the wall on the left side. We go right past this key, we don't need it. Wave goodbye to it. Hugging the wall, hitting the console, pulling the lever. Now we're just gonna run down straight down the center. This level gets skipped. We're gonna kill a couple melee bears that chase after us, and then we're in the clear. There's nothing else we have to worry about. We're gonna go ahead and hit this console, turn it on, pull the lever, and there you go. We've activated the door, and we are in the final tunnel to level 7. We do have 3 purple keys to get level 7. There's really not a way to make it faster that I found. There are some creative ways to do things, and as I continue to play, I'm going to essentially just keep testing. It's been fun to figure out these things. When we start competing, I want it to be a fair playing field for everyone. So I'm gonna keep testing. That way I'm not gonna have any more knowledge than the next person as far as what we can do in game, and I think that's pretty cool. So like I said, mine is someone writing some script or something that makes them faster and actually hacking the game. I'm only using in-game assets and what's available to everyone. There's nothing I'm doing in game that's any different than what's on your build that you downloaded. Now what they did add to this map is really cool, is a health pack here and an ETH crystal. So if for some reason you have a hard time from the start of this map past the cannons, you will there I was shooting at where bears spawn. So I'll go around that little pillar, hop on this bridge, and no bears. You're good to go. You're in the clear. We're going to go ahead and run up this ramp, and as you can see here, you want to get your stamina up so you can jump, run and jump, run and jump, run and jump. If you have no stamina, and oftentimes happened to me during my first couple builds, I didn't have enough stamina. I was moving too quickly, and I would fall through the holes. And some of the holes just fall straight to lava. And then you have to run all the way back. So it's really not worth your time. Wait 2 seconds for the stamina bar to get back up, and then you're back at it. Now here's where I get a little risky here, guys. I drop down here every single time, and I leap across. I do that every single time without fail. It works for me. Now what I show you guys in this video is another way. You can stand on this bridge and jump on that lever. Or not lever, but lift. I miss. my stamina did not engage, and I did not fall forward. Now, in a competitive standpoint, it may be worth the risk because you're gonna save the time and actually catch the lift. In any other case, if you don't get on that lift quickly, that lift is already on its way up by the time you make your way down the bridge. So for me in this run, it was not worth the risk, but it was worth it as far as showing you guys that there are ways to kind of navigate. Now I'm going to skip this bear. I'm going to skip this pack of bears on the right, go around this pillar. I'm not going to do my long jump. I'll come back up here. I've got plenty of space, and we'll go ahead and hop on. Now I've got to kill some bears because some bears spawned. Normally I can skip these bears. I would trigger them this run. We're gonna go ahead and kill them, and if we're lucky, they drop health packs or ETH crystals. Health pack would help us more than ETH, but the ETH allows us to kill these bears faster. Now I've got another health pack I'll end up getting. Let's kill this guy on the lift, so we don't have to deal with him when we get down there. And now we're gonna walk on this edge of the floor because the bears do not spawn there, but they do spawn if you walked in. We'll sprint jump and sprint jump, and we're just gonna avoid him, sprint jump on top of that ledge. We're gonna let our stamina get up a little bit, and then we make our final little run for the second purple key, and we're gonna go ahead and drop down, grab the purple key, and now we're kind of stuck here for a second. So the timing is a little bit off. The lift goes up. Sometimes these little melee bears will come chase you down, like this one. We'll kill him, no problem. We'll hop on this lift, and before you know it, this bear is dropped, and we are moving on to the next area. All right. If you guys hear any weight, like gym Olympic plates slamming, it's someone in my house weightlifting right now while I'm trying to record. So if that's in the background, that's what it is. We got a decent amount of people that work out and utilize the gym I have at my house. So we're gonna go ahead and kill this guy. But as you saw there, every time he threw fireballs at me, it was above my head because he was aiming at, when he locked onto me, my body in space was higher on that axis than I was when the lift was dropping down. So you could stand there, as long as it's going down, he'll never hit you. Essentially, if you've got enough space, it will go over your head. Okay, so those bears, if you hug the right wall, they won't spawn. I think for some reason they got shifted over to the left a little bit. And then there will be bears that spawn along the left side. So skipping some of these bears, not going to be an option every time, but if you hug that wall hard on the left, you can go past. And then there's generally a bear that spawns, and I heard it, but maybe he's stuck inside the rock, I'm not sure. So now we're walking up to the bear, and my bear fight is the same every time. I'm going to go into the center of the bear, and then I'll go left, and then I'll go right as far as looking at the bear. I'm going to start shooting right away. There's no need to wait. You're not wasting any ETH energy or anything like that. Now I'm going to run. His arms are up. Kill this pylon. And then we run to the right. And we are going to run at it. And then we're going back to center. So Mama Bear is going down. And we are going to take him out. We're going to knock this one out on the left side, avoiding these bears that want to take me out, and then I'll turn around and attack the pylons over here. But we're going to actually use the pylon as kind of like a barrier and something to stop these bears that are chasing me. Now once this guy goes down, I'm back on the boss, avoiding little baby bears. Okay, I'm shooting right at the head. His blue shield will come up, and then that's time to finish off these pylons. So I'm going to get the ones on the right side first. We're going to go ahead and kill this guy. Now I'm going to be sprinting and running backwards and strafing. So I'm running backwards, strafing, and sprinting. Go ahead and kill off a couple of those guys to give me just a little bit of space. finish off these 2 pylons, and then we are going to just focus on the boss. We've got plenty of health, so I could take a couple hits. I'm not worried about that. The boss drops, the little bears go away, and that's the boss. Pretty simple. We'll wait for this boss to drop and allow us to go up to the chest. But that's going to be it for us, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. As you can see, I have the keyboard on screen, so you can see when I'm pressing all the time. I'm no faster than anyone else as far as my character in game, but I am utilizing stamina. So if you're going a lot slower than me, chances are you are not utilizing stamina after, 25-30 minutes of playing this game. If your pinkies don't hurt because you haven't played a lot, it's probably because you're not hitting sprint. So for the first 5, 10, 15 games I played, pinky was definitely sore. I hope this helps you guys. I'm Matt Force, Fat Purple Elephant. If you have any questions, let me know. Comment down below. Subscribe if you can. And let's just continue to grow this beautiful community. If you can't reach me on YouTube with some comments, reach out to me on Discord. I'm pretty active, and I'll get back to you. All right, guys. Have a great day. Bye.